Hey everyone! It's another sweltering day here, hot summer day, so it's August. August just started back to school season and I read a ton in the month of July. So here's the stack of books I have here, and then I read some on my Kindle, but I'm just gonna do a July wrap up, but I think this is technically going to be the first video I post on my channel, so get to know me, I guess. I love reading. I don't care whether it's regular, Kindle, audiobook. I love it no matter what. So, yeah. I love art. I do ceramics. This is ceramic pot vase I made, the flower stud, sadly. I'll do paper mache, I'll paint, I'll draw, anything. I love art. So, yeah. Here we are. And I guess I'm just gonna get into it. So I started the month of July in Utah. I was on a road trip to see family and we spent the 4th over there. It was a lot of fun. While I was there, I had a copious amount of time to read. I had a plenty amount of time to read. So I was reading Ace of Spades. Beautiful. I read this in like 2 days, which that's shocking for me. Now that is very fast for me. I just had time, sit by the pool. It was so good. So basically this book is about, there's this prestigious school and these two students, get put on like the top of the class basically. They're like prefects. And then mysterious text messages start coming out about them, releasing their secrets. Yeah. Anyway, so I really liked it. Okay, here's what I have to say about it. I think I would give it 4 stars, maybe 3.75, because I thought the twist was extremely far-fetched. But it's fun. It's a thriller. A little trigger warnings. There's homophobia and racism, which is obviously so hard to read, but it makes the story what it is, you know? Like, you need those to make the story. I thought it was fun. I had a lot of fun, read it so fast. Can't go wrong. I don't know. So yeah, 4 stars. I try to like round up the stars to like a solid number so that I can put it on Goodreads, but Ace of Spades. While I was still in Utah, I had Call Me By Your Name. I got this from the thrift store for like $2. I was very excited. Maybe $1. I don't know. But anyway, picked it up. I read it. It's a good love story. And it is LGBTQ, beautiful. The writing is like crazy. The prose is like crazy. Like, holy moly. But I wasn't the hugest fan. Why is that, girl? Why is that? It's a fun story. I'm not a huge smut girl. And it's kind of like, you're in the mind of this teenager, and basically, the story is a teenager, he has this like 23-year-old, 22-year-old, don't remember his age, come to his house for the summer, and he's like a writer, and this guy, he's like 17, he has a crush on him, he is in love with him, he wants to be with him. So it's a beautiful coming of age romantic story, but is it my thing? Was it my thing today? I guess not. I don't know why. It was like a 3-star. It wasn't a bad book. I say anyone who wants to read this. But I was just like 2 days, 4 days, and like, look at the size difference. Like, how did I read this so fast and this was just like, oh, okay, I'm still reading it, I guess. You know, it wasn't even bad. It really wasn't bad at all. But that was just how I was. Look, I made this in ceramics. It's Harry the Platypus. A platypus? Harry the Platypus? Anyway, the next one, I wanted you to be able to look at something because I don't have the book. It was an audiobook, and on the drive home from Utah, me and my mom had a long drive to do. So we picked up I'll put it here, I think. The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. And I am a Riley Sager enthusiast. This year alone, I've just found out about him. And I'm like, I love him. He's my man. So I've read 5 Riley Sager books. This was probably the 4th I read. Yeah, the 4th one I read this year. And it was good. It was really good. I liked the story. I loved that. Basically, the main character, Emma, she is an artist. And she was the last witness of these 3 girls going missing at her summer camp. Now she's grown up. As a kid, she watched these girls in her cabin go missing. Now she's grown up and she can't stop painting the girls. Over and over, every single time she paints, it has to be the girls. So she's invited back to the camp and wants to solve the mystery of what happened. Where did they go? I really liked it. It was good. Oh, did I say my rating? Oh yeah, 3 stars. I would say that I liked it, maybe a 4-star, 4.5. I really, really liked it, but I have to say, oh, a bunny! A bunny just ran past me. Oh, it was so cute. Anyway, so I really liked it, but it was a little slow for a very long drive, okay? I'm a little bit tainted because if I read that by the pool, I would have ate it up. But I read it sitting in a car for 10 hours. I just was driving, excuse me. Oh, I wasn't driving actually, my mom was driving. I'm not very good at driving. Okay, sitting here listening, it's fun because when we do road trips together, we're listening to the same audiobook, we're bouncing theories off each other. Last year we did 5 Survive. It was such a good road trip book because they're doing a road trip. But back to this book. Driving in the car. Long stretches, boring stretches. Oh, can something happen yet? Oh, please, can something crazy happen? Oh, I'm gonna fall asleep. Once the crazy stuff happens, it's really good. It's a really good book, but it's a little slow going for an audiobook on a drive. So that's what I have to say about it. That's what I have to say. But next week, we got the audiobook Sadie for the rest of the drive because we finished it. The last time we lied on the drive, and we picked up Sadie. And I'm just gonna say it. I loved it. Basically, Sadie is about this girl, Sadie, and her sister's murdered. At the very start. First thing that happens, her sister's murdered. So we're following 2 storylines. Sadie going on a revenge plot to track down and kill her sister's killer, and a podcast, a true crime podcast, following the scraps of where she's going and interviewing people. So fun! We listened to most of the audiobook before we got home, probably half, like around here. And the audiobook is so fun. Full cast, gorgeous. I love the narrator because I've heard her do plenty for Sadie. Oh my gosh, beautiful, gorgeous story. Sad. I get home from my trip, right? And I just listened to like hours worth of audiobooks. What do? Pick it up, read. Read it. It's so good. I did it in 1 or 2 sittings. The rest of it, I don't know, because maybe I had to go to sleep. We drove a lot, but yeah, I read the rest of it and I loved it. I think 5 stars. It was so good. The story is sad and heartbreaking and sweet and gorgeous. So, I'm home. I have access to my Kindle. These were all the books I packed. Oh wait, I also packed Janie. I packed 5 books on my trip. I had a tote bag stuffed with 5 books, and that's what I had. I also had Book Lovers, and I wanted to read it, but I just didn't get to it. So anyway, I'll get to January later because I was reading it throughout this whole thing, but for school. So I'll get to that because I finished it like at the end of this month. But I got my Kindle back, and so I was able to read on my Kindle for quite a while. I picked up Lock Every Door by Riley Sager right when I got back. And don't know why, couldn't put it down. Constant reading. girl, put it down. It's okay. You could take a break. No, actually, she can't take a break. She had to keep reading it. So, laying there in my bed, reading, 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 reading. Go upstairs, eat food while I'm reading. What am I doing? Reading constantly. I do wish I had the book, but we can't afford every single book in the world, so we use my mom's Kindle. So, yeah, I loved it. I don't know why. A lot of people have said it's not one of his best books and it's boring. Not one of his best books. I have to agree. I gave it 4 stars. He has better books, but I loved it. Nothing wrong with that. I think he's a great author. And so basically, Lock Every Door is about this girl who she gets to house sit in an apartment, a really nice apartment, I will say. And they're like, yeah, we just want you to stay here, sit at the apartment, get the mail, chill, yeah. And like rich people live in this apartment, famous people live in this apartment, and so she just gets to live in such luxury, beautiful, with a bunch of rich people. She's like, and you're paying me? You're paying me? So, obviously, everything has to go wrong. Obviously, because it's a book, right? So, things do go very wrong, and it's creepy. It's very creepy, and it's good. The twist is far-fetched. I found that with Riley Sager. They're sometimes a little far-fetched. I don't care. I eat it up every time. It was fun. I had fun. I had a good time. Got it? Got it. Good. I liked it. I read it in like 2 sittings maybe, which is fast for me because in these I'm acting like I read so fast. I do not. It takes me like a week to read a book maybe. That's not that bad. That's not that bad, but that's not that good either. For there only being like 4 weeks in a month, unless I'm dumb. I think that's correct. Anyway, so next I moved on. I need to figure out which one. Oh, I remember. I read The Prisoner's Throne. Okay, I got The Stolen Heir. I got the book and I brought it to Utah. I read it there in June, so I can't count it for this video. I loved it. I loved it so much. My hold at the library comes this month, and I get it and I read it, and it was so good. 5 stars. I'm sorry, am I throwing them out too easily? I loved it. It was so amazing. 5 stars. I love the characters. So basically, I'm not going to tell you a lot about The Prisoner's Throne because it's the second book, so I'll just tell you about the first. So, I'll grab it. Here she is in all her glory. Look how cute. I don't read books with the dust jackets on, especially if I'm traveling with it. I'm not going to damage it or whatever. So, I had her. Gorgeous, beautiful, and I loved it. Basically, this one follows Ren, and if you've read the Cruel Prince trilogy, I read that, and it comes after that. So I would recommend reading the Cruel Prince before this, just because the Cruel Prince series is amazing. And why would you not want to read it? You just read it, and then you can read this, and then you have 6 books instead of 2, because the Cruel Prince has 7, because the Cruel Prince has 2 novellas that I read. You don't have to read them. I just read them because I love the characters, love everything, and then 3 main books. And then this has 2. It's finished. It's a duology, so I love reading finished series. And basically, Oak from the Cruel Prince, if you know him, he's grown up and he is the main character of these. The second one is about him. It's from his point of view. This one's about Ren, his love interest. And I love her. Seren, I love her. It's gorgeous. It takes place in Elfheim. There's not really much I can tell you without, like, divulging the plot, but it's fun. It's beautiful. Read it. Read the Cruel Prince series, please. Okay? Thank you very much. Read The Prisoner's Throne. Loved it. I love them both so much. 5 stars. Hate me if you want to. 5 stars. That's enough. Okay. The next book I read, Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. I wanted to read a little romance, and it is basically medieval. Gwen and Art are in an arranged marriage. Arthur, Art, Gwendolyn, Gwen. They're from two different kingdoms, and basically their marriage will bring the kingdoms together. But they're not in love. Gwen and Art are not in love, and they're never going to be in love. They hate each other, and they're both gay. So, what do they do? What do they do? Gwen has a crush on a little knight girl. She's a girl. Arthur has a crush on Gwen's brother. Oh, the prince. Oh, so basically, how are they gonna make that work? What's gonna happen? We don't know. You have to read it. It was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I would say maybe 4 stars. It was funny. It had likable characters. It was funny. It was a fun time. I liked it. I liked it a lot. But not as good as, you know. Little sneak peek. None Shall Sleep. I read that next. Think about, have you read The Naturals? If you haven't read The Naturals, read The Naturals. I don't know why everyone loves the Inheritance games so much more than The Naturals. That's literally dumb. The Naturals is so good. I forced my mom to read it. Yeah, so basically The Naturals. Criminal Minds. I've never seen it. Low-key, I've never seen it. So am I lying? I don't know. Criminal Minds teenagers, basically. But this one involves some serial killers. So, None Shall Sleep. Emma Davis. Is that her last name? I should double check. Emma Lewis. That's right. Emma Lewis, and she is a teenager. She's 18, she's going to college, and she survived a serial killer. Basically, she escaped from a serial killer, and she's just living her life after. And Travis Bell, his dad is murdered by a serial killer. So these two teenagers, what do they have in common? Serial killers. So the FBI is like, we're going to recruit you to interview juvenile serial killers because this current case, this huge current big case, we think it's juvenile. We think that there's a teenager doing this, and people are getting murdered. People are getting murdered over here, so we need you to be over here interviewing all these guys to see what connects juvenile serial killers, what's going on, and how can they use this information that these teenagers are doing about to work in an active case. They're working in cold cases, but to help with this active one. That's what it's about. I liked it. I think 3.5 stars, 3.25 because I really liked it, but I'm not a gore girl. Say it once, I'll say it twice. I'm not a gore girl. Anything like pretty bloody, I struggle with. I got a very active imagination, and you describe it, I imagine it. I probably imagine it worse than you describe it, because why is my mind working against me on this? But it is. And so I'm imagining the grossest things. And it's not that gross. It's honestly not that gross. But when they describe the gory details, I imagine the gory details. And let's just say, when I go to take a shower, if you read this, I imagine. That's all I have to say. It's really not a bad book. I'm going to read the next one, but I'm just a little bit nervous about the gory details because I'm not a gore girl. Even when I played The Last of Us 1 and 2, I was like a reduced gore mode. Don't hate me. Don't hate on me. I can't do it. Anyway, that's that book. It was good. I liked the story, but okay. Next up, I finished Jane Eyre. I've been reading this for months for school. Like 2 months, maybe. June and July. But I had to annotate the mother out of it. like, girl is annotated up. Here, you can look at my annotation guide if you want. These colors are the themes, and then those are the common themes. Motifs, symbols, characterization, and whatever. Literary elements. AP Lit. Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre. I just have to say, I'm not a classic person that much. I'm trying. I want to be. I liked The Great Gatsby. I liked To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't even think those are classics. They're not old enough, but they have the vibe, okay? They have the vibe. I have Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte on my shelf. I have Pride and Prejudice on my shelf, but I haven't read them yet because I'm just... Am I a classic girl? I don't know about that. I don't know. I'd like to be. I could be Aurora Gilmore Studious. But I just want to have a fun time. I'm not trying to be studious, except for when I'm doing it for school. Except for when I'm reading for school. So here we are, studious. Jane Eyre, little coming-of-age romance. This girl, Jane Eyre, she had an abusive childhood. She's an orphan. She just wants love. She wants to be loved. So it's just her life. It's a cute little life. She's going through it. She's trying to find love. She's trying to find a home. Jane Eyre. 3 stars. Read it for school. Anything I have to read for school, automatically, it could be good, but I was forced to do it. So it's not as good. When I want to be reading my little fantasy, and I have to read this, read 2 chapters a day. Got through it. Did it. Also had to do a dialectical journal. No one wants to do a dialectical journal. Listen to me, teachers. No one wants to do that. It's not fun. Actually, maybe some people do. I don't. Emmy doesn't. So, cutie little Jane Eyre. It's fine. Not much happens. Low-key guessed the huge plot twist. Kind of fun, like little mystery-ish in it. Little mystery in it. So, okay. I read Where the Crawdads Sing. Where the Crawdads Sing. My girlfriend was reading this, and she said I wasn't allowed to read it until she got to basically the end because I'm much faster than her. So she was reading it, and basically when she was finishing, I picked it up and I read it with her, basically, because we were doing a little buddy read. This was cute. Kaya, her family abandons her. She lives alone in a marsh, in a swampy area. And it's sad. It's a sweet story. She wants love. She wants belonging, like Jane. Her family abandoned her. Her family died. You know? Actually. But there's a murder. First page. Murder. And the town's prejudice against her, so they accuse her. I think it's her. Was it her? Did she do the murder? Did she find love? It's cute. I liked it. 3.5? 3.75? I liked it. I just didn't love it, you know? I thought it was cute and it was fun to read with my girlfriend, and then we watched the movie. We watched the movie together, and it was good. It was good. They did a good job. I like movie adaptations, but they're never as good as the books. Never. But it was pretty similar. I liked it. Last thing I read, finished it July 31st. Barely. Fourth Wing. Oh my god. Gorgeous. I'm going to make a whole video of me reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, but I'm so sad Onyx Storm is out yet. Actually, at this exact moment, I haven't finished Iron Flame yet because it's August 2nd. I've only had 2 days to read it. So, basically, Violet Sorrengail is going to this prestigious school for magic, basically. There's riders who ride dragons, healers who heal the people who ride dragons, and scribes who recount like the history. And they're going through this war, dragons versus griffins. So Violet has trained her whole life to be a scribe. She wants to be a scribe like her father, and she's ready for it. And last minute, her mom is like, no, you're gonna be a writer like me and your sister and your brother. You're gonna be a writer. You're gonna ride dragons. But the problem is, Violet is weak. That girl can't climb a fucking dragon. She's weak. Her bones break. Her ligaments pop out. Her hair is fading to gray because it just doesn't have enough nutrients or something. Or magic, you know. But she's so weak. And you have to go through intense challenges that are deadly to enter the rider's quadrant to become a rider, because you gotta weed out the weak. We're not having weak riders. People who can't climb on top of dragons. People who can't fight in wars on top of dragons that breathe fire. So basically, Violet thinks she's dead. Girl, you're gonna die because you're weak. But will she make it? Will she not? We don't know, but we kind of actually know. But it's very fun to read. 5 stars. I picked this up after finishing this. I couldn't put it down. I read for hours. My family's like, we're watching a movie. You want to join? I would love to join, but I'm reading. I literally missed out on family movie night to read it. 5. I found so many good books this month. It was amazing. It was a great month, a great reading month for me. I had so much fun. I read 2 Riley Sager books. I read plenty of genres, I think, and I loved every minute of it. I had a great month. So hope you had a good reading month too. And I probably will slow down the reading when I go to school, but I am in a reading designated class. Every 2 days, I get to go to it, and we just sit and we read, and I love it. I love it so much. So, thank you very much, and goodbye.